Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Since this is a fairly new channel, the editing, not gonna be that good, but here we go. Today I wanted to talk about on my blog, and I wanted to talk about what I loved or liked, and what I hated, disliked. Okay, first, let's just start it off with the hated, because that's who I am as a person. Anyways, this season to me felt short. I feel like there should have been at least 12 episodes because episode 1 through 5 was fairly just moderate pace. I liked them, fun moments, laughs. It's good to see the group back together. But then from episode 6 to 10, that felt very rushed because there were two moments in just those 4 episodes where there were time jumps again. So there was the first one after Spooky's death, and then it was just short though. And then there was a time jump in the 9th episode, I believe, and it was over from February all the way down to May, which I think was too much time to take away from this group. Since it is the last season they'll be together, I wanted them to be together a lot. Okay. I just felt like there could have been 12. I understand 15 would have been too long, but 12 would have been perfect in my eyes. Maybe that's just me. Okay, now I want to talk about things I loved. I love the interaction between Ruby and Latrell. I liked getting to see like where he went after he got arrested in that second season, I believe. Yeah, second season. Because after that whole gang got arrested, then it was like, okay, they're gone. They're not a problem. Not realistic. You didn't see where they went. Ruby spent the entire second season trying to get over getting shot and Olivia's death. And then the third season, he was still trying to get over it. So it was just nice to see him get with the person all those years later, almost 4 years, 3 years, something like that, and actually talk to him and actually just get his side of the story and just sit with him for a moment. I thought that was a really nice touch. Okay, back to things I hated. I'm not gonna say I hated this character, but it was a very strong dislike. Vero got on my last nerves because she was so just the definition of like fake hood. She was so down with Caesar and like, oh, do your business, baby. That was the type of guy it was. She had a problem with Monse even though she didn't even know Monse. Like, if I see you in the store and you're staring at me, that's a you problem. Because I have never seen you. I don't know you. You didn't even know me back then. If you knew me, then fine. Us seeing each other being a problem, I get it. But you didn't. That was the whole problem. And then Vero acts so big and bad, but then as soon as the other gang came into Caesar's house and pointed the gun at her, she just completely squealed and told her where the money was and everything. I was so mad at her. Like, bro, they weren't gonna shoot you. And plus, if you're sleeping over at a gang member's house, especially one that's like kind of a pseudo leader in the gang, kind of expect you to be shot or, you know, gun pointing at you. But I guess she didn't think that was gonna be happening to her. Yeah. Anyways, back to things I loved. One thing that I loved was that fight scene between Monse and Vero. Even though Vero gets on my last nerve, I thought it was hilarious that Monse was just standing there talking like, you and I should be friends and, you know, girls shouldn't be pitted against each other. And she's just going down the whole thing and Jasmine's in the background like, girl, she finna fight. Meanwhile, Vero's like taking off her earrings, she putting off her backpack, she getting ready for the fight, and Monse's just standing there. Like, Monse, you went to that school It was 2 years, but you should know when a fight's about to happen. Like, it was so obvious. Especially once you see the earrings coming off. Ma'am, there's about to be a fight. I don't know what to tell you. Anyways, let me go back to things I hate. Let me just go back in my list. Okay, I just put Caesar in bold print. Caesar got on my nerves. That's all I have to say about him. He got on my last nerves. Another example of just fakehood. Fake strong. It just, why? Like, it just, I don't know. And his voice got so deep. I know everyone's been saying that, but like, honestly, I was like, wait a minute. That's a little fake. That's a little bit, that's a fake voice. Anyways, let's go back to things I loved. Let me go back to my list. I'm looking at this list and there's way more things I hated than things I love. But we'll see. I actually really loved Jamal's character, just in general. At first I was like, football player. But for some reason, it fit him. Though he would completely just be ran over in football. Especially if there's like big guys at the school. His mentality and his jokiness makes sense for football. I also loved just Brett Gray in general. Great actor. Great comedic timing. There was 2 moments in the show, I think through episodes 6 and 10, where I just like bust out laughing because of him. And typically when I watch shows, like I'll laugh, but it's like internally, if that makes sense. It's not like a full out just laugh. But he did 2 things that caught me off guard that just made me laugh so freaking hard. And he's always the one that makes you laugh like that. Alright, so we're jumping back to things I hated. Okay, let's see. I talked about this earlier in the video, but I really did not like how rushed it felt. I wanted to see more of the core 4 plus Jasmine during this moment, but we just didn't really get to see that. Also, this is another thing on my list for things I disliked. I didn't like how Caesar and Monse's relationship went. I wanted them to either be all the way on each other or all the way off. And they were kind of still in the murky middle. They slept with each other during the episode. They kissed during the episodes. Somewhere in between, I want to say 5 through 10, they kissed, they slept with each other. And just nothing came out of it. It was so annoying. Even in the time jump in the 8th, 9th, 10th episode, Monse was still helping him doing calculus work, doing other homework. The whole group was, but she really was spearheading it. And nothing came out of it. And it especially annoyed me during the prom episode. And she asked him, like, you want to go with me? Go as friends, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I'm going with Vero. Go sit down. There is no way. Why? I did not like that from the writers. I didn't want to see Vera in the equation. I understand her first 5 episodes, but after that, I needed her to just exit. Please exit. She was annoying. Caesar was annoying. Enjoyed Monse the most. Out of all seasons, she was the best this season. And that brings me back to things I love. Monse. She was very much enjoyable this season. I think this was some of her best acting. Best acting in the 4th season. Because first season, sometimes it felt like she was reading right off the script. 2nd season, it got a little better. 3rd season, it had its moments. But 4th season, I can just say with my full chest that was pretty good. It wasn't like Emmy worthy, but it was good. It was nice. It was fun. Alright, back to something I hate, because that's what I always do. I hated Spooky's death, or Oscar, whatever you call him. I hated that so much because it felt irrelevant. I saw it coming as soon as he stepped outside and he was on the phone and he was so happy. I knew he was going to get shot, especially since Caesar went straight to his house. Again, another reason why I dislike Caesar, because it seems like all 4 seasons just never thinks. He's just like, I'm gonna go here because I can. And it always backfires and it's never fun. Yeah, it's not fun. That Spooky's death, that was so sad. Yeah. Anyways, back to something that I loved. I loved seeing Jasmine and Monse reunite. I feel like their friendship, first of all, when they first started it, I think season 2 or 3, I want to say 3, when they first started it, it was like them two, just on paper, would probably never be friends, but I love seeing it. Fun. Jasmine's fun, and anyone she's with is gonna be fun. Okay. Another thing I hated was... let me see. Another thing that I hated was just some of the gaps in the story. Why did we need to see Lil Ricky during the, I want to say the 8th and 9th episode? Why was it, we saw him before then. We saw him right after Spooky's death because Caesar met him first. Why was it a thing? If you guys know what I mean. I just don't think, I think that could have came in season 3 if you guys just wanted to show us him. But it added nothing to the story. It was just like, oh, he's here. We can't do anything about it. Like, it just, no. So, yeah. There were lots of gaps to me. There was another gap. The things with Cuchillos. Okay, they found her remains, but there was nothing that really happened. There was no police investigation. They were pulled in once, and they talked about Bigfoot, and the police were like, fine, okay. Why was it a thing? At first, I was like, in the first 2 episodes, and they were like, they found her body. I was like, okay, that's how they're going to get the gang back together. But then that wasn't really how the gang got back together. And it was awkward to me. Because then after a couple episodes, like the Cuchillos storyline just disappeared. There was no real retaliation specifically because Cuchillos was now known to be dead. It was just like, oh, she's dead. And then like 18th Street, I think that was the name of the gang. The ones that wear purple. They were just like, give us the money. And then it made no sense to me. As you can see as I'm rambling, it made no sense to me. All right, back to things that I loved. I love seeing Abuelita and Jamal. I love seeing Abuelita and Jamal pretty much reunite their friendship. They're my 2 favorite characters. Jamal, Abuelita, and Jasmine, they're the big 3. They're the best. No one can tell me otherwise. All the other characters don't even match up in my book. Those 3, they can have their own individual shows and I'd watch. Yeah, they carry the show. Specifically Jamal. He just carries regardless. Jasmine, hilarious. But Jasmine be too much sometimes. So she could stay a little side character. But I still want to see her a lot. Abuelita, I love her. That's just fun. Like, I wish my grandma was like that. She's so fun. Okay. And talking about Abuelita, another thing I hated was her death. I think her death made much more sense than Spooky's death. And I'm only saying this because Ruby found out that those medical bills were not his. It was Abuelita's cancer treatments. That makes sense. I liked that storyline in a sense because it at least explained that, because we already know it never got paid because the money was gone. Never know. Where'd it go? I don't know. The money was gone, and that's how the group fell apart. Anyways, that's how Jamal, Ruby, and Caesar, that's how they initially broke apart. So her storyline made a lot more sense to me, but I didn't want to see Abuelita go. She's my favorite. I didn't want to see her go. I know, it's sad, but honestly, Abuelita is iconic. Love her. I even love the actress. Like, fun. But anyways, I think. Oh, and this is a side note. I just wrote on the side. In the scene of Spooky's death, and Caesar was over him yelling and crying, saying, "Not my brother, not my brother." That was some of the best acting I've seen from. Ooh, I don't remember the actor's name. I've seen for Caesar in those 4 seasons. Because sometimes it's hit or miss with him. Especially when he yells or cries. It'd be like, run it back. Do that again. But that was a good job. I will give him that. That was fabulous. That was the one good thing Caesar did. Otherwise, he was annoying. Just a nuisance. Was with Monse for no reason and still got back with Vero. And still flirted with Monse. That's the part. That's the part I dislike. I'm sorry I'm back on the dislike. I was trying to get back on the loved. But I hated that. Caesar just never knew what he wanted. Do you want her or do you not? Do you want her or do you not? You annoying person. But anyways, I hope you guys like my random ramblings. I'm not the best at structuring videos yet. I hope you guys like this. I hope you guys comment. And I hope you guys subscribe. Because I hope to be talking about tons of other TV shows. I mainly watch Netflix, Disney Plus. I want to do a Disney Channel original movie thing where I post every week about different movies. I watched The Bachelor, Bachelorette. I'll probably do that. That seems like a big commitment. But we'll see. I hope you guys like and subscribe. Thank you. Ooh, can't turn off the camera, of course. Hey.